Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and it's time to get back to Final Fantasy IX. Yep, the project has not been cancelled. I've just been kind of busy, and so I haven't really had time for it lately. And of course, we have a random encounter within seconds of starting the video. Well, it shouldn't take long to kill this guy. Yes, the Amarant just has the poison knuckles equipped. I still find it hilarious that you can steal the poison knuckles from Amarant in your boss fight with him, but he then doesn't have them when he joins your party. Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of experience points from these enemies. At least relative to how much it takes to level up. And so, of course, whereas we had barely any encounters back in Disc 2, up here we've got encounters everywhere. Yay. Well, a griffin wants to get some, and I am happy to oblige. I suppose it's an opportunity to get some ability points, to learn some new abilities. Freya and Steiner are a bit behind in that curve. Oh, Zidane has learned to mug. And Amarant's about to level up. What else is he learning level up from? Nothing, so I may as well have him learn it. Okay, I can't really improve on Amarant's equipment, at least on his hat. The bone wrist would be good, though. And the black belt. There we go. Yeah, maybe I should have parked a little closer to Black Mage Village. I could have parked at this beach instead of the one way over yonder. Well, it gives us an opportunity to get some more experience. And here we go with another Zagnol. And it's gone. This is kind of the downside to games with random encounters, that you have to go through the whole setup process where the enemy appears and the camera does a few kind of cool looking camera angles to show off the enemy before the fight begins. And that time can add up after a while. Alright. Oh, it's the leather plate that teaches him chakra. Yeah, you don't need to pay a huge amount of attention to which abilities Amarant is learning at this point, because he has so many to learn. Of course, this whole trip to Black Mage Village is essentially serving as a boot camp for Amarant, Freya, and Steiner to bring them all up to speed. By watching Zidane kill things. Because that's how you learn, don't you know? You watch someone else do the job you're supposed to do, and you just passively get better at it by watching. Yeah, I'd say the dark matter is pretty good. And I don't want to increase Steiner's magic stat. I might be wrong, but I believe Steiner's magic stat does literally nothing. Oh, and she's learned Lancer, so she can now learn White Draw. I'll give Freya the running shoe. Nah, not giving up 3 points of strength for that. Actually, really can't do better than what she's currently got equipped. I probably forgot to change Steiner and Freya out of their level up gear after the last time they leveled up. Well, more things for us to kill. After a certain point, I just start seeing them as bags of experience and money. And we got another Peridot. Rama just keeps getting more and more powerful. Of course, unfortunately, Dagger is the one who summons him, and she's kind of in a bad way right now. Right. Freya up to the Mithril armor. Right. And Steiner. Yeah, Insomniac would be good for him to have. So would Undead Killer. Oop, I scrolled past it. And, you know, Clear-Headed would actually be extremely useful for Steiner. I mean, a clear-headed Steiner does seem like a contradiction in terms, if you know how the guy usually acts, but apparently he can learn the ability. Looks like nobody's here. Where'd they go? I'm gonna go look around. Well, let's follow Vivi. Where is everyone? They went away with Kuja. 2 other guys stayed behind. They're probably at the Chocobo Shack. Why? Why did they go with him? They learned about our lifespan. We can live only for a given amount of time. Kuja said he knew how to extend our lifespans, so everyone followed him. He's lying. I bet he's lying. Look what he's done to us. He's been using us, treating us like puppets. Maybe we are just puppets, created to serve humans. Come on, that's nonsense. Where did they go? I can't tell you that. I can't betray them. Then why didn't you go with them? You said the 2 other guys are in the Chocobo Shack, right? Vivi. Well, let's try talking to this guy again. He's got nothing to say to us. Well, the only place Vivi could be going is the Chocobo Shack. We know where that is. Feels a little incongruous just how upbeat the music is, considering what's happening. Hello? Is anyone there? Vivi. Please, open the door. It's bored. Oh. Wait! Looks like the Chocobo egg finally hatched. Finally. Hooray! Hooray! still can't believe it. Yeah. I don't understand. Why are you here? We're here to look after the chocobo. At first, we were gonna go with everyone, but someone had to stay behind to look after the chocobo egg, so we stayed. We kept the egg nice and warm by putting a lot of hay over it. I can't wait to show him to everyone. They're gonna be so happy. We have to come up with a name. Hey, what's happening to me? I feel strange. Me too. You stayed behind because you were worried about the chocobo egg. I don't know. I wanted to follow Kuja because I was so scared of dying. But I couldn't. I felt like I was leaving something important behind. I want to ask you something. What is it? Am I gonna stop pretty soon, too? I don't know. Kuja said the prototype built before us would last longer. But I am gonna stop eventually. I was really confused when my grandpa died. He told me, Vivi, no need be sad. So I told myself I can't be sad. That's why I felt confused again when I heard that everyone was stopping around here. I didn't know what to do, or what to feel. But when I saw Dagger crying when her mom died, I wasn't confused anymore. I was sad. If I were just a puppet, I never would have felt that way. Mr. 288, we aren't puppets. I know we aren't. I hate him. I hate Kuja. He's turning everyone into puppets just to kill people. If it weren't for him, I know everyone would understand someday. It's not fair. Vivi. Kuja's secret palace is on the eastern side of this continent. It's buried under quicksand. You'll need a ship to get there. Well, how fortunate for us. We have a ship. Thanks. I hope we can become strong like you someday. Vivi has so much on his mind. Unlike me, he's fighting so hard. I thought I would change after I met Zidane. Once I acceded to the throne, I knew I had to change. But nothing has changed. I'm so helpless. Wow. Dagger, were you listening too? That crybaby sure has come a long way, don't you think? Dagger? Are you alright? Don't worry too much. Vivi has his own way of dealing with things, and you have yours. Come on, cheer up. We'll beat Kuja and you'll get your voice back in no time. Zidane. Something wrong? Okay, let's get going. Mr. 288 said Kuja's palace is buried under quicksand, right? Yeah, we're taking the ship to the eastern side of the continent to get there. I feel like there was supposed to be another person who would have answered Zidane when he asked about the palace. So instead, Zidane just kind of is conversing with himself here. It is kind of interesting. Vivi's line talking about how Kuja is turning everyone into puppets raises kind of an interesting question, because Vivi probably meant, and the obvious reading of that line is that he's turning the black mages into puppets, because the black mages are thinking, feeling creatures, and Kuja is turning them into objects to be used to carry out his will. When you think about it, that's how Kuja treats everyone. In Kuja's mind, Brawny was just a puppet too. He isn't just turning the black mages into puppets, he's turning everyone into puppets. And it really cuts to the heart of why he needs to be stopped. And we're gonna stop him, one team of goblin mages at a time. Anyway, we know where Kuja's palace is, so you might think that the natural next thing for us to do would be to go to his palace and confront him. But we're actually not going to do that, because there's a bit of side questing that I want to do first. But before we do that, we're going to fight some enemies. And the side questing is actually going to require us to use the ship anyway, so we still need to get back to the ship. But let's see what we got this time. And it's another Zagnol, just what I always wanted. Well, I guess it's true, you can never have too many Zagnols. Wait, okay, yes you can. You can, in fact, have too many Zagnols. You know, Freya doing subpar damage doesn't surprise me, because she's in the back row, and her regular attack isn't ranged, so it does reduce damage when she's in the back row. The point is, since it still makes sense to have her there because she can use jump, but I would really have expected Amarant to do more damage. Anyway, this is where we're actually going to have to take a break for a moment while I get us up a lovely fresh recording file and we can get on to some side questing. I will be back in a second. Okay, we're back, and yep, we're in Q's Marsh. We're actually specifically in the Q's Marsh from the Outer Continent. And yeah, I stopped by the ship and picked Quina up. The first thing we're going to do, side quest-wise, is eat frogs. The reason for this is because there's a segment coming up where we're going to pretty much have to use Quina. And, well, Frog Drop actually has some of the most potential of Quina's offensive abilities. At least of the ones we have right now. So, yep, I'm trying to power up Frog Drop a little bit. Now, in the long run, at some point, Quina is going to be benched and is going to be staying out of the party permanently. But there are still a number of segments later in the game where I'm pretty much forced to use Quina, so I do want to make sure he, she, they is powerful. But yes, I'm doing this because I want to make sure that they is powerful for the segments where we have to use they. Now we're up to 19. We hit 20. Because Frog Drop is number of frogs times Quina's level. But I believe that is all of the adult frogs that are available here. If you look closely, there are several tadpoles, which will develop into adult frogs. There's apparently some kind of like life simulation going on here. I don't know exactly how it works, but if we were to come back a while later, these would be adult frogs and may have even had kids who would then be tadpoles and stuff. But we've picked this area clean, so it's time to go to the other one. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back, and we're at the other Q's Marsh. Yep, we're still doing this. Well, let's see how much the frogs have grown back. Quite a bit, as it turns out. This is nice. Well, let's catch some frogs. In addition to this marsh having more frogs, it's also, the layout actually makes it a bit easier. And Master Quail. What do we get from her this time? Ooh, Silver Fork. I'll have to check how that compares to what Quina's currently using. This is also how you get Quina's ultimate weapon, by collecting 99 frogs. Which, as you can imagine, might take a while, not just because the actual process of catching frogs takes a while, but because, well, once you've thinned out the population, it takes a while for them to come back. Okay, let's actually let that go for a second, because I want to check something. Reflexes are too slow. I let the one go and now they all think I'm getting soft. Because I am. I suspect that they repopulate faster if you leave at least one male and one female alive. So since this one was a male and the other one I found was a male. And so I want them to repopulate faster because it will make the job easier in the long run. So that one up there is the only one left to check. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Yep, we are sexing frogs in this fantasy RPG. Never thought I'd say that. Alright. Still no. That is the one. Alright, there, you're out of the water. Oh, they're both male. And well, in that case, if they're all male, I may as well just collect all of them and see what happens. Get us up to 29. Alright, so we're up to 28. You will not escape. Still no. Just need to wait for it to hop to a place where I can reach it. Come on, little frog. Don't worry, I won't hurt you too much. Ah, crap, he's the last one left and he knows it. He's getting smart. He's just he knows that if he stays in there long enough, I'll decide that it's too boring to be on the recording and I'll have to let him live. He's figured me out. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. Now he's just mocking me. I guess he's decided that Quina really needs some cardio, so he's got me running back and forth, and here we go. Told you I'd get you. Well, with 29 frogs, that is all the frogs we can catch right now. It'll be a little while before they've repopulated. However, there is some other bit of side questing we want to do first, before we move on with the story, and that is, we're going back to Chocobo's Forest. Yep, some new chocographs should be available, and we are going to collect them. Of course, it's going to be a bit of a hike to get there, since there don't appear to be chocobo footprints anywhere nearby. Well, we have abilities to master, may as well rack up some ability points while we're here. One of the advantages of going through an area with low-level enemies is the number of ability points enemies give doesn't really increase as the enemies get more difficult, but the number of experience points they give does. So, going through an area with weak enemies, you can easily rack up ability points to master abilities without leveling up. Which can actually be very helpful if you have a lot of abilities to learn from equipment that gives poor stat boosts. And it looks like, alright, looks like everybody's equipment is basically what it should be. And onward! This should be our last encounter for this area. There might be one more after this one. Oh, and of course, now he uses Pumpkinhead now that I've taken away most of his hit points. So despite being massively overleveled, Freya still can't take out one of those in one hit. Well, I mean, she is in the back row. Steiner has mastered Mental Break. I'm sure there's something else he can learn. He has kind of a backlog. Let's see. Okay, let's have him mark on alert. And sure, let's get the Iron Sword back out there. Yeah, Steiner has a huge backlog of abilities he hasn't mastered yet. It's one of the reasons why I brought him with me for this. Oh, right. Oh, right. I can't dig for chocographs if I don't actually have the chocobo with me. Well, he's busy on another continent. Oh, he's off on another continent, so I'll just quick take out some Gasol greens, and wouldn't you know it, he's here. Despite the fact that he has no method of even traveling from one continent to another right now, I guess Gasol greens give chocobos the ability to, like, warp time and space or something. Where's Mene? Kupo, you're here. I've been away. You were here like 2 seconds ago when I didn't have the chocobo with me, Mene. I finally found it, Kupo. There's a place called Salvage Archipelago across the ocean southwest from me. There's island called Palm now, and you can enter the lagoon from there. Check on the map, Kupo. There's holy light in lagoon. It's very much like this forest. I'm sure we can find chocographs there, Kupo. Well, for now, yep. Let's play some Chocobo Hot and Cold. In English, what Mene means is there's a second place we can dig for chocographs in addition to the forest called Chocobo's Lagoon. And the instructions that Mene just gave us is how we find it. You have to, Choco has to have the ability to walk on reefs in order to get there. But there are chocographs in this area yet that we haven't gotten. Right. This session's going fairly alright. There we are. I feel like I'm getting the hang of this or something. Yep, and of course we go through the extra time dialogue every time. It's really weird because it's like the first time when you get 4 or more, it goes through the dialogue, and then it doesn't do it again until you leave the forest and re-enter it, and then Mene goes through the whole dialogue about giving you the bonus. Like, they intended to make it so that Mene only says, "That's amazing, Kupo," the first time you ever do that, and after that you just get a shorter message. But they couldn't quite pull it off correctly. It's just kind of an amusing, what I'm pretty sure is actually an error. Anyway, I have a fair amount of chocograph farming to do yet, and I'm not going to make you watch me do all of it, so I will be back in a second, again. Okay, I'm guessing that I just had already gotten all the chocographs from that area and had forgotten, because I spent quite a while digging there and I found nothing. So, I'm giving up. We're looking for the lagoon. There's definitely new chocographs in the lagoon, so let's go there. Which first means hopping on the boat. And I guess we can call it a convenience that in this game there aren't random encounters on the boat. Some of the other games in this series, when you're traveling on a boat, you actually encounter random enemies. That would make this a bit slower. And already, right here is the entrance to the lagoon. However, I don't believe there are chocobo footprints on this island. So while we could land the boat on the island, we could not summon our chocobo. So we actually have to follow this reef a little ways to get to an island that has both a beach and chocobo footprints right here. Now we get out of the boat and stand on the chocobo footprints facing due north and grab the candles, the obsidian knife, and the gasol greens to summon our chocobo across time and space. And here he is. Can I reach it? Can I make it around here? I cannot. I need to go the other way. Yep. Because the people who designed this section are a bunch of dicks, they decided to make this whole reef maze that you have to work your way through before you can actually get to the Chocobo's Lagoon, rather than letting the most straightforward path actually take you there. Yay. Okay, these two buttons are the camera controls. Yeah, I'm still not used to the camera controls on the Steam version. I'm 150 hours into the game, and I'm still not used to the camera controls on the Steam version. Well, I suppose I don't use them very much. But, yep, taking the long way around, we eventually get to Chocobo's Lagoon. And here we are. Mene, what are you doing here? I'm Choco's buddy, Kupo. He knows what we need to do. Let's dig around some more, Kupo. It's tougher to dig in bottom of lagoon than it is in forest. And we can only go in the shallow parts because Choco doesn't like to go to deep water. So we have less space, which means we have half as much time, but he also charges us less. The other thing to note, as Mene mentioned, is the depth values on things that we're digging for will always be higher here than they would in the forest. It just kind of controls for Choco's peak level. See, that started at 60. And it wasn't even anything special, it was just gasol greens. Well, I mean, a trans-dimensional plant that can be used to create portals to the netherworld, I suppose, is special. And that's all we got. But yep, there are definitely chocographs here. In fact, something I didn't notice before. Never mind. I thought that asking that would actually tell us whether or not there are chocographs that can be found in an area. But nope. Apparently Mene tells you once and then never mentions it again. Better not forget. Okay, so around here somewhere. This is... The higher depth numbers kind of confound me because I'm used to using the depth numbers to guess whether what I'm digging for is a chocograph. Well, with a few of these, Choco's beak level should increase again. Which is good because getting 4 in this situation would be nearly impossible. And his beak became stronger. And the time's up. Again! Again! I mean, we should probably keep looking for chocographs. I can stop anytime. I don't have a problem. Go away. Come on, big money. Big money. Ore. What am I supposed to do with ore? Come on. Give me the good stuff. Here we are. This way. Right, there we are. Eye drops? Come on, what's the point of eye drops? Okay, that's actually not true. The usable items we've been finding here have been surprisingly helpful. It's nice to just kind of never run out of usable items and never have to buy them. Anyway, I'm going to be at this for a little while, so once again, I will be back in a moment. Alright, after a bit longer than I'd like to admit, we have all the chocographs that are available at this point in the game, so let's see what we've got. I believe uncultivated land is actually still inaccessible, so is Coldfield. Alright, so Forgotten Lagoon is new. Why not go play in icy cold water? The icy cold part is actually a hint. Faraway Lagoon, I'm still not sure about, but we've had that one for a while. Abandoned Lagoon, I think I confused Abandoned Lagoon for Faraway Lagoon, because this is the one that's near a peninsula in the southern part of the outer continent. And this is another new one. It's near a city where the night never ends, which we all know where that is. And then we also have Dusk Plains, which is not accessible yet because it requires an ability we don't have. Let's see, where to start? I'm going to start with the Dawn Lagoon, which will be, since it's Treno, will be in the Mist Continent. Alright, so trade vehicles for a moment. And let's see if we can get to where Treno is. Fortunately, either our boat moves really fast or the world is really small. Okay, that's actually the Lindblom Serpent Gate. So we just kind of trace the radius of the Mist Continent until we get to a beach. The beach we're looking for, if I'm remembering this correctly, is actually very close to Chocobo's Forest, which I almost called Chocobo's Lagoon for some reason. Alright. That's the beach that we want, but since we need Chocobo footprints to summon our mighty steed, we're actually going to have to park the boat here. And yep, the first set of Chocobo footprints we ever used. Right, and Gasol Greens. We have 66 of them. Yeah, I've been playing Chocobo Hot and Cold for a while. And this song is inevitably going to be stuck in my head. And yep, this is the area we're looking for. So down off of this beach. And just feel around until we find it. Yep, here we are. And that was quick. Let's see what we get. We get smoke! Takes him a really long time to appear. Wanderer, we await your return. Choco, you now have the ability to climb mountains. You are heading towards your homeland. Hurry home. And he very gradually disappears. And Choco is a red Chocobo now, who can climb mountains. This is actually the ability that we were missing to be able to get access to that, what is it? The Dusk Plains. However, we can't get there from here. Because, well, it's possible to reach it from the nearest set of Chocobo footprints using the mountain ability. It's not actually possible to reach it from where we are. We have to wait for the story to progress a bit further. So, I don't really know what to do with Faraway Lagoon right now. So let's go with the abandoned lagoon. Though to get there, first we have to get to the outer continent. Also, I believe having obtained the mountain ability will cause a new batch of chocographs to appear, but I'm not entirely sure, and I really don't want to test that right now. We've spent enough time pecking at the ground before we progress with the story. So we're just going to collect the last few ones that we just unlocked, and after that I'm going to move on with the main story. The main thing is, the story will take us past the area where the Dusk Plains, chest is. And so I wanted to make sure that we had the mountain ability before going through that part of the story. Okay, and we have chocobo footprints right here. Well, this looks about right. Alright, and... Choco, I summon you! Alright, let's make sure this is the right one. Sunken treasure near a peninsula in the southern part of the outer continent. Alright, this is the right one. Now it's just a question of actually finding it. I mean, peninsula in the southern part of the outer continent, we've got that part, but this doesn't look a whole lot like the area. Let me see something. So... yeah, this does not really look like the right place, despite matching the description. Oh, no, I don't want to open the menu. Whoa. Alright. Yeah, we may be at this for a little while. Actually not absolutely sure where this one is. Let's see. Was there another place that could be a peninsula near the southern part of the outer continent? Actually, there is. I think we're in the wrong place. Great job, Viking. Yep, I am intensely prepared. I am absolutely a professional at this. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I do not make these kinds of mistakes. You must just be imagining things. Fairly certain it's actually here. Which means we need to find another beach. Let's see. Because I believe this peninsula that we're touching is the right peninsula. But it can't be because... Because we should be able to find it by looking for the place in the picture. But I've never really had any luck actually trying to do that. Let's see. Turn the camera a little bit. Oh, and then accidentally hit the forward key. And okay, so no matter what I do, if I try to move, it resets the camera. Great. See if there's something over here. Let's try this one. See if we can get it from this reef. And immediately have a random encounter. Not even sure what enemies you can encounter here. Well, let's find out together. Oh, a Zagnol. How passe. Also, I did actually equip the Silver Fork off screen. It was an improvement over what I had equipped. Alright, gain a few experience points. Oop, Quina leveled up. And Freya and Steiner both will soon. I change their equipment around now because I'll probably forget if I don't. Okay, I'll give Steiner the power belt so that I can give Freya the dark matter. That extra point of spirit could actually be useful. As could an extra point of magic. And do a little bit more with Steiner's equipment. And yeah. Alright, there we go. Alright. I think this might be it. Yep, that's looking right. This is the right place. This is where we've been the whole time, didn't you remember? Or perhaps this isn't the right place, in which case we're not actually here right now. But it sure looks like it. Yep, here we are. Alright, there we go. 6 soft, 4 ether, feather boots, and Nakai armlet. That's new. And back to the boat. First, let's open up the chocograph menu. And why not go play in the icy cold water? That clue actually tells us quite a bit about where specifically this one is. In fact, because we're going to get that one, there's another one we're going to get around the same area. Now, if this were your first time playing the game, you wouldn't know this, and would probably not collect this chocograph until significantly later. But if we go a ways north, towards one continent that we haven't really seen very much of yet, we encounter an extra continent where everything is cold. So the icy cold water would be referring to the water around here. So, what we need to find is an island whose land texture is the land texture that we see in the image, but that matches the, but that is in this area where everything is cold. And this area fits the bill, and this little protrusion on the end looks like the right shape to match the picture. Now we need to follow the reef to a place where there are chocobo footprints, because we need to be able to get here by way of a reef, since Choco can't go over water. And doing all of that, we end up here. However, there is another place that I want to go first. Since we're already on this continent, eagle-eyed viewers may notice this is also where the Cold Field chocograph is located. From way long ago, way back in Disc 1, when we got that. Looks like a very cold place, Kupo. Now it's just a question of figuring out exactly where on this continent it is. Fortunately, it's a very small continent. Yep, here we are. It's a small continent after all, I suppose. Okay. There we go. And let's see what this one gives us. Yeah, this one technically only requires the field ability, but now you see what I meant when I said it was gonna be a little while before we actually managed to get here. Well, now let's follow the reef and get to the Forgotten Lagoon. It's actually not that much of a trip. Now it's just a matter of feeling our way around to locate the actual treasure. Yep, here we are. Eight Gasol greens, because apparently we need more of those. And Dragon's Claws, a new weapon for Amarat. But with this great bounty, it's finally time to proceed with the main story. So, let's go head to the Outer Continent, and let's go invade Kuja's evil fortress. I almost said Kuja's evil forest. Wouldn't put it past him to be responsible for that place, though. Alright. And fortunately, we're pretty close to the Outer Continent, which is where we're going. Just gotta listen to the nice, relaxing overworld music for a little while we get there. In fact, the place we're looking for is very close to where we parked to pick up one of the chocographs. Not here. I feel like I should be singing a sea shanty or something, except I don't know any of those. Yep, the first place we landed is actually where we're going to advance the story. This desert. And more of these guys, because apparently they made only 2 batches of enemies for the entire Outer Continent. So it's either the beetles and the troll guys, or Zagnolls and griffins. There are no other options. Alright. Oh right, they have counter. I forgot. Doesn't really matter too much, though. Okay, now it's Zidane who's about to level up. Also, while I'm putting stuff together, I can tell you, I did actually do some off-camera frog hunting. Just because I had spent so much time doing the Chocobo Hot and Cold that the frogs actually came back, and so I went and did some more frog hunting, just because we still needed frog hunting. Alright. Where's ability up? I definitely want Steiner to have ability up equipped, because he is very far behind the other characters in learning passive abilities. Okay, and Freya may as well equip the gold helm, since... Actually, no, that wouldn't be an improvement over Lamia's tiara. Then I'll have her equip MP plus 10%. Yep. There is a group of 4 sinkholes. If we interact with one, we fight an antlion. Because this is actually not exactly the right place. If we interact with any of these 4 sinkholes, we will fight an antlion. there is a separate nearby group of 3 sinkholes, and those are the ones we want to interact with to get into Kuja's base. So in the meantime, let's fight an antlion. It's only a boss from earlier in the game, with the ability to reduce everyone's hit points to critical and inflict blindness on the entire party. You know, no big deal. Oh, and it can do that, too. Well, Raise Wind is always a good opening move. And in case you didn't notice, I also queued up Quina to use White Wind after Zidane revives Steiner. I'll have Freya use Eye Drops on Zidane. This would be a lot easier if I actually had a magic character, but I don't. Fortunately, Zidane can do that. Steiner can't do a whole lot. I almost said Steiner can't do a whole much. But Quina also has 1,000 needles. Unfortunately, Quina also has 0 hit points and can't actually use that ability. Right? I think Zidane is going to end up doing the majority of the work on this one. Also, we're at the point where Minus Strike would actually do more damage from Steiner. That did a lot of damage. Oh, we have White Wind. Oh yay, Fire Up. Well, at least he used it on Freya, the one most likely to survive being hit by that. Even with White Wind, I'm gambling that Minus Strike will still do more damage than Steiner's normal attack. Especially since I think Minus Strike is not considered a physical attack and won't trigger the counter. But it ended up not mattering. $83 experience points. Yeah, the rewards for that thing were calibrated to an earlier part of the game. But yeah, this is actually not the right place. Get a quick potion up, because we have a lot of those. Once again, thank you, Chocobo Hot and Cold. Not something I ever really thought I would say. Okay, that'll do. It may be a somewhat tedious minigame, but at the very least it gets us an effectively unlimited supply of healing items. Alright, and onward. Except, I seem to have missed something. Could have sworn there was a second group here, but I don't see them. Oh, perhaps they're over this way. Yeah, it's been a little while since I did this. I don't actually remember exactly where everything is. Nope, there are only the 4 holes. So I must be remembering how to do this wrong. Because I am a professional. I think what it is there are, like, puffs of sand in some of them, and those are the ones that are wrong, and the one that doesn't have those is the one you jump into. And a new enemy type, a giant worm. These enemies are actually fairly dangerous. Because they have this. It reduces an enemy's health, a character's health to critical, and causes confusion. Fortunately, Steiner can't do too much damage while confused, because he only has the Iron Sword. And 1,000 needles did, well, 1,000 damage. Show of hands, who is surprised? And it also knows Sandstorm. And the sand, except it, like, its version of Sandstorm is fundamentally different from the other version of Sandstorm. The name is the same, the animation is the same, the sound effect is even the same, and is intensely stupid sounding, but it's a different ability, apparently. I had forgotten about that too. That is very weird. Okay. Just gonna Potion Steiner up. Alright, and so I think this one is the correct one. And I'm correct. Okay, so what it actually is there are little puffs of sand that appear in the center every so often. But for one of the 4 sinkholes, it doesn't do that. I have no idea where I got the idea that there was a separate group of 3, and those are the ones that you actually jump into. I don't know, that must have been a dream or something, or a hallucination or something. Anyway, I knew you'd come. Everything is going according to plan. Zidane, Ribbit, wake up! What did I do last night? Sid, where the heck are we? Good question, Ribbit. I wish I knew. You're in the drunk tank, Zidane, that's where you are. After I fell into the quicksand, everything went dark. That's all I can remember. Well, that does happen sometimes when you jump into quicksand. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Me too, Ribbit. When I woke up, Ribbit, I was in this room. Oh yeah, where is everyone? I don't know, Ribbit. I hope they're alright. So you're finally awake. That voice, it's Kuja. I'm so happy to see you again. You rat bastard, where are my friends? My, aren't we feisty today? No need to worry about them. They're in rooms not unlike yours. Oh yes, by the way, I should probably enlighten you as to your current situation. I'm sure that even your feeble mind can grasp what would happen if you were to take that plunge. Well, yeah, so you're in a cell that's suspended over what appears to be either Kool-Aid or marinara sauce. It can't possibly be lava because the cell itself is made out of metal, so if it was lava, you'd be roasted alive. So you could either... So if you take that plunge, depending on which substance it is, you will either get crippling diabetes or be turned into Italian food. You know what? I don't want to risk either of those. Oh dear, was it something I said? Either way, now that you're aware of your predicament, I'd like you to do a tiny little favor for me. I'll let your friends live if you say yes. Well, I have no choice. I am not taking the marinara challenge. Very good. You've chosen wisely. First, step outside. Seriously, if that was actually lava, you would have been cooked alive just by being in the cell at all. Hey, Sid. I need you to look after the others. Fine, Ribbit. I won't let you down. And you, Ribbit, you come back safe. Yeah, I will. See ya. Alright, now that we've narrowly escaped becoming a mozzarella stick, stand between the 2 black mages. And apparently they can teleport us. So, actually a pretty nice place Kuja's got set up here. Welcome to my humble abode. Just cut to the chase and tell me what the hell you want. My, we're upset, aren't we? Well, this is your errand. I want you to go somewhere and bring something back for me. So tell me what it is already, you demon. I'd watch my mouth if I were you. Surely you haven't forgotten that I hold your friends' lives in my hands. I'm going to send you to a place called Oilvert. Where's that? Oilvert is south of the Seaways Canyon on the Forgotten Continent. It really isn't my kind of place. What do you mean by that? You see, there's an anti-magic barrier around the place. And I want to send you because you're too stupid to use magic. Once there, I want you to retrieve the Gulag Stone for me. What do you say? Isn't it a simple task? I'll even send you on my luxury cruise ship, so you won't have to worry about transportation. Perhaps it's too much for you. I'd better send you with 3 of your friends, just to be safe. Besides, nobody likes to fight against himself. Never mind. Speak their names when you've chosen your partners. Well, he mentioned there's an anti-magic field, and he wasn't kidding. It's impossible to use magic inside of Oilvert. So, we're gonna bring the 3 people other than Zidane who don't have magic. So Steiner, Freya, and Amarant. It's one of the reasons why I made sure and used Steiner and Freya a lot during this episode. I wanted to power them up a little bit. Fine, I shall summon them. Apparently Steiner was dozing off. And we get to see them gather on the platform and get teleported up to meet us. Spare me the emotional reunion scene, please. Now go stand with your friends. You'd better keep your promise, Kuja. Of course. You needn't worry one bit. And I mean, after all, as we've seen... What a bunch of idiots. After all, as we've seen, Kuja is a man of strong character and strong principles, who is honorable and trustworthy and absolutely keeps his promises and does not betray people. Who am I kidding? They're probably already dead, aren't they? Well, either way, we have a mission we have to carry out, and the first step is to get on the airship. Yep, it's the Hildegard. The original. This is the OG Hildegard. And I was told not to go any farther. Well, onto the ship. I'll admit, Hildegard 1 is a pretty cool looking ship. Though, being a ship Sid named after its wife seems a little strange, because with the black and the sails that look kind of like raven wings, it has this kind of sinister looking design. Like, it really feels like a ship that was designed for a villain. So it seems like kind of odd for Sid to name that after his wife. Or maybe he was trying to tell us something. Hey, can we really trust Kuja? Hey, can we really trust Kuja? Hey, say something! Also, Zidane, I just kind of have to ask, so you're asking, can we really trust Kuja? Is that a question you still need to ask at this point? They will not answer you. Respond to our orders only, they do. Why, you backstabbing bozos! That is the strangest exclamation I think I've seen in this game. Like, the game has profanity. You could have just called them, like, bastards or something. But for some reason, in his anger and fury, Zidane calls them backstabbing bozos. That's just such a strange word choice. Like, you meanie head! You needn't concern yourself with such things, or an end to your friends' lives we shall bring. Damn it, and there's profanity, the next sentence over. Like, Zidane is just one of those people who just cannot talk when he is angry, apparently. The Black Mages were originally designed just to oppress. But a strong sense of self the Black Waltzes came to possess. Always obey us, these mages do, is a strong ego they have not. These mass-produced ones are to break once we're through with their lot. Other purpose than war they have not. They have grown attached to life, yet they'll soon disappear. Hilarious. Nothing but toys are they here. I don't think you guys are any different. What? Rubbish. You say the Black Mages have no souls, but you guys are pawns, just like them. Am I right or what? You won't be talking so big once we're done with you. Regret those words, you will. Well, let's just take it easy until we arrive. Drive safe, alright? And, yep, we actually fly over part of the northernmost continent on our way to the Forgotten Continent. And yep, there is a Q's Marsh on this continent, which we could have, if we had brought Quina, we could actually visit that and collect frogs. And we basically need to head due south in order to get to our destination. However, this video is already pretty long. I'd say it's long enough to be the reunion tour for this project. So, this is going to be the end for this part. Also, I realize I was gone for quite a while, but don't worry, the Final Fantasy IX Let's Play is back on. I will actually be uploading these videos weekly until we reach the end of the game. The project shouldn't go on hiatus again. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you liked the video. I love you all, and I will see you next time, and that will actually be next week. See you then.